Welcome to this video series on building LLM applications. So today we will talk about how to leverage AI agent frameworks to accomplish a much more complex tasks. Sometimes you have to build applications which might involve many interactions with the LLM models. So you have an end goal, and to accomplish that end goal, you have to decompose the task into smaller subtasks. And each subtask, to accomplish that, you might have to interact with an LLM model. And each interaction might again depend on the previous response from the LLM itself. And each of these interactions accomplishes a smaller task which takes a step forward in achieving the end goal. And to demonstrate that, let's look at an example. So I have built a tool on how to generate question and answers. This tool is actually built using an agent framework called CrewAI. I think it's one of the most widely used agent framework today. So let's look at the Crew. Actually consists of multiple agents, and each agent is actually given a particular task to accomplish, and then the Crew allows the agent to kind of collaborate, and it also orchestrates which task has to be done next, in what sequence, and ultimately accomplishes all the tasks to achieve the end goal. So here I have created three different agents. One is the question generator. The agent's role in this case is given a content, it generates the questions, and the questions about what particular categories that can be mentioned given as an instruction. And then there is an answer generator. So given the question that has been generated by the previous agent as a previous task, it can generate the response, the answers to the question from the content again. And the third one is called the grader or the evaluator. So we'll again provide the question and answer generated from the previous task and asked to evaluate and how complete, how relevant that particular response is, whether the response is sufficient or it needs much more expansion. And all this task basically is kind of orchestrated and managed by the Crew itself. So first I will take you through the tool. This tool is basically developed using a new framework called FastHTML and is hosted on Hugging Face Spaces. First I'll take you to the tool, how to use it. I'm going to publish the link in the video description, and then I'll go through the code, how to implement it. So here you can actually choose the model that you want to use, whether it's OpenAI model or Anthropic model or Google Gemini model, and then provide the key to the model and then choose the file. So here I'm going to upload the document. So for this I'm going to use a case study published in MIT about Tesla's entry into the auto industry. It's a very interesting case study. So let me generate through certain questions and then we'll go through them. And we can also give instruction about what kind of questions to be generated. For the demo I have actually taken only to kind of factual questions about the different facts and events and dates and all that, and the number of questions to generate. So in this case you can actually choose how many questions to be generated, and then we'll go and generate the questions. So you can see it has started generating the questions. So this is going to take some time, so I'm going to show you the questions that is already generated before. So here are the questions and the answers and the feedback and the rating given by the tool. And you can see, let's look at some of the questions. How many new car dealerships were there in the United States in 2018? And what percentage of a dealership's profits came from the new car sales? In 2018, there are about 16,794 new car dealerships, and approximately 58% of dealerships' profits came from new vehicle sales. What percentage of US car auto industry market share did Tesla hold at the time of 2018? It was only 0.02%. Whereas GM was the largest automaker at that particular time. You can also store this question answers in a CSV, Excel or PDF format. So let me show you. I have already generated these questions. So here is few questions about the facts and few questions I have generated based on the SWOT analysis, the strength weakness analysis, opportunity and threats. Very interesting is going to generate those questions, and of course it also provides a feedback and the rating to the questions. Now let's look at what it actually done behind. If I look at the sequences of the tasks, you can see it first generated those questions, the first task, and then it has generated the answers, the questions and answers, and then of course it also, the third task for the question and answer, it has also generated the scores. Yeah, the rating 5 and explanation, the feedback about why it has given a rating of 5. For the code walkthrough, I have written a blog about the implementation of this particular tool, especially focusing on the implementation of the agent framework. Now, of course, in the blog, I'm going to give the link of the blog in the video description. Of course, there's some introductory content about what is an agent framework, what the tool is doing. But besides that, let's look at the specific implementation of it. The implementation contains 3 different steps. One is, of course, defining the pydantic classes to kind of control the response generation by the LLMs, so that each task responds with a specific information in a very structured format, and then setting this task and defining the task and agents, and finally running the sequence of the tasks. So there are multiple different pydantic data models are there. One is a question. So this is how the first task is going to generate a question and give a response back. The questions typically contains the context, the question itself, and the question type that comes from the instruction that you have given. And the answer contains, of course, the answer itself and the question answer pair. So this is going to be the response from the second task. The first task is going to generate the question. The second task is going to generate the question and answer pair. Given the question, what the answer is. And the third one is, of course, the graded question answer pair, which contains the question, the answer, the rating on a scale of 1 to 5, and the explanation or the feedback, why it has given a rating, whatever rating it has given. And of course, it's going to not generate one question, a set of questions. So again, the pydantic models to kind of response as a list of questions, list of question answer pairs, and list of question answer pair grades. And once you define that, this is the most important part of CrewAI framework, where we have first defined 3 agents and the task they will accomplish. The agents can be considered as a kind of a roles, right? And so here the role is question generator. So generate relevant questions based on the case study test, and it has a backstory typically which gives about what is specific, little bit of expansion about the role itself. So you are an expert in creating insightful questions from the management case studies. You specialize in creating diverse types of questions. Answers generated, you are a knowledgeable expert in management case studies, capable of answering complex questions based on the case study information. So you ensure your answers are comprehensive and directly relevant to the questions asked. And the grader, you are an experienced evaluator of management case study analysis. You have keen eye on details and can effectively assess the quality, completeness, and the relevance of the questions and answers. So there are three different agents. The way you define the agents is you inherit from the agent, which is defined in the CrewAI framework, and of course you pass an LLM. You associate the agent with an LLM. Basically define a role, what is the ultimate goal it wants to achieve for that particular agent, and some description about the backstory. So there are three different agents here: question generator, answer generator, and the grader. Now we can actually define the specific tasks these agents are going to accomplish. For example, the question generator is going to accomplish the task of question generation. So this is a little more comprehensive. This can be very specific when you are doing a task, and the agent can accomplish the task based on specific instruction given in the task itself. So generate a set of how many number of questions, that can be also an input from the given case study, and this is the context given, and the task is associated with the agent itself. And here you also specify how the response is going to be. So the output should be in the pedantic format, the question list that we defined in prior. Similarly, answer generation task, again a description produce accurate and comprehensive answers. Each answer should be directly relevant to the question asked, based on the information from the case study, clear and well structured, and you can also put some restrictions about not more than 100 words. This restriction can also go into the pedantic class, by the way. And here you associate with the agent, which is nothing but your answer generated agent, and then the QA pair list. Same thing for the grading task. Evaluate and rate each question answer pair on a scale of 1 to 5 based on the overall quality and completeness. And once you define the agents and the tasks, then you can actually define the crew itself. So here you can see we initialize the three agents: question generator, answer generator, and grader, and then three different tasks. And finally the crew is defined here. So who are the agents? Question generator, answer generator, and tasks, right? And it's going to be a sequential process. So there could be tasks where it's not sequential, it could be hierarchical, but in this case it's sequential. First question, then question and answer, and then question answer and the score or evaluation of that. And then finally, of course, you can call the CrewAI kickoff, and you provide all the information: how many questions, what's the chunk, and what's the instruction. So this comes from the text area where we specify what kind of questions to be generated. And this is of course going to generate the questions and store in a CSV file, and then basically display it as a HTML tables. So I'm going to post the link to the tool and the code. So go through it and let me know your feedback, and see you next time with a new application. Thank you.